went to the 49ers and was a stiff.
Well, I don't think Jalen Carter's playing very great this year. I think he's had great moments.
That's different. If you want to tell me he's not in shape,
everyone was fucking 9-10 sacks at the beginning of the year for the guy.
He's not in shape. I agree.
Without further ado, the man. Woo! Does he have a tough job? Yes, he does. Hey, John. You know, this is just conversation here. Look at how he does it. He's like Big Sills now. You know, he throws that. Hey, this is just conversation here. The guy's hanging out there, you know, and hamstring injury. You don't think the trade or hell no, fuck that. Not in a million. You know, like, hey, whoa. We're only having a conversation, Junior. Without further ado, by the way, I love me some John McMullen. I do. John does a spectacular job for us. Without further ado, the man who also does a spectacular job for us is Big Z, Zander Krause. He joins us now.
My man, Big Sills. What's going on, brother?
What do you think of that hamstring injury?
I don't know what to think of it.
Yeah, you do.
Well, no, I just think it's fair.
It's bullshit. It's what it is.
If when Trey Hendrickson misses a game and every Eagle fan in the world says to me, it's because they're trading him, how do they not at the very least entertain the thought process that as we get closer to the deadline, they're holding AJ for that? Now, I don't actually think they're doing that, to be honest with you. I don't think that's what's happening there. I don't think they're going to trade him in the middle of the season. I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense. I don't know what the team gets. Now, maybe if you're talking about AJ for Myles Garrett or something like that, like, I don't know, maybe, but I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense to do that at this point. So I don't know what to make of it. You know, I don't know. Is AJ okay? Who knows? I'm sure he's going to play. We'll see what ends up happening.
Okay. Well, here's my takeaway with it.
By the way, that gambling story is about to get is just getting started.
This goes into the locker of the Lakers. This goes into the locker.
We're ready for this? Now, this came out. Maybe you saw this. This came out before your show, but I didn't see it until just now. Court documents reveal details of LeBron James's injury were sold by his friend Damon Jones, who got arrested today. Prior to a 2023 game against the Bucks, Jones told his ring to place a bet on the Bucks before LeBron's game status was revealed. It's getting interesting. Now, the only reason I say that is because LeBron is a kingpin in the sports world. He's a kingpin in basketball. Whether you like the guy or not is not my point. So I don't know, man. We're in an interesting spot with all this sports gambling companies. I will say this. Who would have thunk it? All the leagues are in bed with all the biggest sports betting companies, FanDuel and DraftKings and this and casinos. And who would have thought that we would have a gambling scandal a couple years later? I mean, come on, man. But we'll see what ends up happening.
Greatest thing ever happened in the NBA.
Are the leagues rigged? Are we covering a sport that's rigged?
You know what my wife said to me? She laughed at me when I got off the morning show. She goes like this to me, Zander. I told you the other day the whole fucking thing's rigged. And I went, it's not rigged. The NFL, she's like this. She goes, really? And I go, well, I don't know. And then I started thinking, what are the two most significant penalties that referees have in their hand? Holding and pass interference. The most subjective calls in all of football, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could call holding every play. You could call PI on every pass.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's really subjective to the officials. That's why they make it as vague as
I wonder if we're covering an illusion. I wonder if we're covering a fake.
Wait. But don't
predetermined outcomes. I spend my whole life talking about fucking sports, and you're telling me some stiff sitting in a high rise is making all the calls? You got to be kidding me.
How about this one, though? Don't you think certain people and certain teams get benefit of calls?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wouldn't you give the Eagles the benefit of the fact on calls over the Carolina Panthers?
I watched the Philadelphia Eagles lose a Super Bowl on one of the worst holding calls I've ever seen in my life. I watched the Eagles. I watched Dallas Goedert get mauled at the goal line a couple of weeks ago at the end
Oh
of a
my
football
God,
game.
yeah.
And then
The
my
Giant
call.
game.
Yeah. I watched Dallas. No, that wasn't the Giant game. That was the Bronco game.
Bronco game.
Dallas Goedert got mauled at the goal line. No call. Nah, no PI there. I don't know about that, ref. Who knows, man? Who knows? I hope we're not covering a lie.
You think
I hate lying.
You think LeBron is involved?
Directly? Probably not. Why? Like, think about
Why?
it. Like, why?
Right.
Bro,
Why?
like LeBron James is worth $1 billion+.
Michael Jordan was suspended for gambling in a soft way, though, when those 2 years when he got caught the Eastern Conference in Atlantic City. As far as I'm concerned, I always believed those 2 years away from the game was a suspension that he got caught gambling. Dude, he was gambling in Atlantic City in between games 5 and 6 in Atlantic City.
That was AJ.
AJ, that's right. The Buck game.
The Buck game. The Buck game. Ryan says, bro, Bradbury literally said I held him. Yeah, bro, you don't think Bradbury could be bought off? There's hundreds of millions of dollars to be made.
Now, where's Bradbury today? He's in a yacht somewhere, right?
Yeah, right.
All right.
I don't know. I just think it's an interesting story today, though.
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah. It's beyond interesting, man. All right. Is the Giant game the game that Saquon Barkley turns back into Superman?
Yes. Not Superman, but I think Saquon gets 100 yards this game. I'm not looking for Superman. I don't need him to be Superman. It's first the New York Giants, but I think this is the game he gets 100 yards. And I know that this defense is good against the run, and they do play a style of defense that's a little bit harder to run against, especially going up against Dexter Lawrence when you don't have Cam Jurgens out there. But this is a team that just threw the ball the best they have in a year versus one of the best pass defenses in football in Brian Flores and the Vikings. So this is a team that should be able to impose their will when they want. That's my belief. That's never wavered. And when they don't do that, that's when you start to question the team. If they want to get Saquon going, this is good. They're going to be able to do it this game. I think Saquon comes out and has a $110 in the game.
Okay.
22 carries.
So you think they go heavy in this?
Well, I think they're still going to have a good balanced approach, but not that they always have a balanced approach, but I think they're going to have a balanced approach, and 22 carries for 110 is my prediction for Saquon.
Okay, I'm going to give you something here to remember. By the way, Super Chats will be read at the end of this. This is what I'm going to do for all of you Philadelphians and what I'm going to do for all you Eagle fans.
Uh-oh.
Giants, Packers, Lions, Cowboys, Bears, and Chargers. And those next games, if Jalen Hurts leads this team through his great passing attack, I will concede you can do it on a weekly basis.
What are you saying? If they can pass the ball this week, you're going to say we can do it?
No, not this week. I said if the Giants, the Packers, and the Lions, and the Cowboys, the Bears, and the Chargers, all potential playoff teams except for the Giants, divisional game. If you're going to lead through the air and he's winning all those games through the air,
well, not going to win them all through the air.
You that this guy has taken the team and has put it on his back, and he is no longer the fucking caboose that he is.
You guys see what Sills does. He creates these expectations that are nobody wins 8 games straight on their arm alone.
Why,
Nobody
you won 14. You won 14 last year.
On the ground.
Oh, whoa. You see, because this is going to lead me to this. I don't believe you're getting your run game back.
You don't?
Nope.
Well, it ain't because of Saquon Barkley.
No. I just don't think you're going to be healthy enough.
Don't create that. Look, you just created another bullshit expectation on the game this weekend. If they don't win 40-7, the post game.
Hey, Hey,
it's the NFL, guy. Get a grip.
wait. No. You're telling me you shouldn't. Well, look, you're probably like what? 14-point favorites in this game. The Giants have nothing. I don't even know how they beat the piss out of you last time. I have no idea.
Well, they have confidence. They got swagger. They got belief, and that goes a long way. I mean, you're telling me Jackson Dart can beat us with Wan'Dale Robinson? I mean, there's something else that going on there that people
everybody's got a fucking plan until they get punched in the face.
Well, did they get punched? This is my question on the Giants. How do they respond to last week? It's one thing to respond after beating the Eagles on a high. It's another thing to blow the lead that they did in the fourth quarter on national TV last week versus the Broncos and then come back and answer the bell. That's my question. What will Dart and Skadaboo look like this week?
Man. Yeah, I got 40-7.
Birds?
I think they're going to beat the piss out of them. I don't think
Sil's creating faulty expectations.
No, I think you should kill this. You don't think they should kill this team on Sunday?
There's only one time since I started hosting programs that I predicted a blowout for the Eagles. Only one game I predicted a blowout. It was the NFC Championship game last year because I knew the Giant Commanders were going to get their fucking ass beat.
Right, they had been there 25 years.
Yeah, we're not gonna beat this team 40-7.
Come on, man. Have a little. What was that you just got through telling me? Expectations and faith and belief.
Bro, it's an NFC East opponent. Come on, man.
I got higher
expectations. Beat them 40-7.
Even you for your old football team.
You don't just beat them 40-7 because Sileo wants them to.
Yes, you better. Here's another one here for you. So Jalen Carter, man. This guy's got 0 sacks in 7 games.
He's creating pressure, though, man.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I heard Vic Fangio say the only reason Jalen Hunt got an interception last week because of Jalen Carter.
Okay.
Jalen Carter's a defensive tackle. Do defensive tackles make all their money on getting sacks, big seals? You were a defensive tackle.
Okay. No. But a guy I'm going to pay $40 million to having goose egg sacks. And talking to me about I'm not looking I can't name you one legendary defensive tackle that had 0 sacks.
Javon Hargrave had 11 sacks in Philly. Do you think that guy's a better player?
Nobody's calling him fucking legendary.
My point is that the sacks for a DT are fuddy, and many times, they're not even worth a shit. Javon Hargrave at 11 here, he wasn't worth a shit. He went to the 49ers and was a stick.
Well, I don't think Jalen Carter's playing very great this year. I think he's had great moments.
That's different. If you want to tell me he's not in shape,
everyone was fucking 9-10 sacks at the beginning of the year for the guy.
He's not in shape. I agree. Can he be better? Absolutely. Is he living up to expectation this year? Probably not. Falling a little bit short. He has no sacks. Doesn't do it for me.
So if he ends the season with no sacks, and the defensive, here's something else. You're 22nd in run defense right now. I mean,
well, how much of that? My question on the defense, all the defensive numbers right now, how much of them fall on the fact that the offense, with the exception of last week, has largely been pretty shitty this year? They lead. They're one of the top teams in the league in 3 and outs. How much of that is on the deep? By the way, you've also been down in games. So the run defense is not going to be as good or graded out as good when you're playing this style of football. Last year, they were the best run defense in football. That's because every team was damn behind us. They were throwing the ball all over the place.
I had higher expectations for him this year, and I thought everyone else did at the beginning of the year when we were talking about double-digit sacks for the interior guy and creating. Again, I got it. You're right. The Minnesota play that he had. But one of the reasons why also they were still in the game was because they were able to move on play action, and they made it a 6-point game. Man, how we so drop our expectations. No. Okay, here's another one for you, Junior.
I don't drop expectations. I analyze what I see.
Jalen
Carter's still making an impact.
You bet.
If you're going to tell me
you're damn right. I played the position, and you're right.
If you're going to tell me he's not worth $40 million at this point, I'll have that conversation. I agree. Okay. That is because you have a $40 million expectation on a player. That's where I'll meet you and say, yeah. That's a big expectation, and that comes with a standard that must be met, or you're not that type of player. That is fine. I think he's still having a solid year. I think he's still a massive impact on the game. My biggest gripe on him so far is he still acts like a child at times, and you saw it in week 1 when he spit on Dak Prescott. And are you giving a $40 million player that? And do you have an anchor of your defense that does that type of shit? At some point, Jalen, you're going to have to grow the fuck up. Jalen Carter, that is. That's a bigger concern to me than him having a goose egg on sacks. I don't really care.
So spitting on someone and not being in shape, how do you feel about that?
That is more of a concern to me. That is simple things that you can control.
In an extension year.
Right. You can control that. That's on you as a man. What you do in the offseason, what you do in your free time, what you do when the lights aren't on, what you do when nobody's watching you. That, I think, is fair criticism of Jalen Carter. And honestly, I think if you said it to him, he would say, yeah, you're right. I mean, I got to be better, or I have to do things differently. So that's fair.
Do you think BG being in there kind of sparks that fire a little bit?
Maybe. I mean, I heard something that some player yesterday was speaking, and he was like, normally it's quiet during stretching, but BG's back, and you hear BG hooting and hollering at everybody. No, I mean, seriously, we joke about that stuff, but sometimes that's a good thing, man. Sometimes that really does push people.
Used to do that all the time.
Right, each individual play. If you can be 1% better on a play because BG's hollering at you, that over time that adds up to make
actually it loosens you up.
Yeah, right. I agree. Loosens you up, add some fun to the game, get you something to play for outside of just, being at practice. Oh, I'm going to shut BG up or whatever the case might be. So I think BG adds something in that realm, but
I don't know. Now we're going to go to my favorite guy.
Oh, no.
EJ Brown. Boy, do I love me some AJ
Brown. What's EJ?
All day. Energy AJ. Anything you want, baby. I gotta. This was a yellow flag, not a red flag for me. It was a yellow flag. When Jalen was asked the question.
To spitting on Dak. Yo, dude, we didn't have fucking the player for the whole game. That's costing your team. I don't give a shit that you think this is a street fight and you think it's funny that he spit on another quarterback. What are you, macho, easy 06?
What are you doing over in the huddle, too, on the first play?
I like that. We lost the player for the game. That's a stupid move, brother.
Stupid move.
Come on,
stupid move, man.
Sorry to cut you off.
Reggie and Jerome aren't doing that bullshit, man.
All right, go back to EJ Brown. I don't even know. What are you calling him EJ for?
I'm talking about Energy AJ, baby. AJ Brown here. I saw something that was a yellow flag to me. Quarterback had to address. Yeah, I had to be prepped. Coming into the conversation, talking, he was prepared to answer a question on AJ Brown. So I ask you about his relationship. How much do you think all of this stuff is affecting Jalen Hurts in being able to run his football team? AJ Brown and all of the things that, again, I mean, how much do you believe that this is hurting him in his leadership role when you got a guy chirping every fucking week about something and he's trying to keep everyone focused in the building, and there's one guy who's kind of like chirping and people are going to go like this, well, he's trolling the media. Well, get this. It's now become a distraction that the quarterback had to answer it.
Yeah, quarterback had to talk about it. I don't know if it's taken away from him. I weirdly think that Jalen's personality is kind of a good leadership style to handle specifically something like this, because he just doesn't pay much mind to it. Everybody has different leadership styles, and there's pros and cons to every different style. Jalen has his cons and his styles, but I do think in this realm, he answers, I'm focused on the collective, whatever that means.
I had no idea what that meant.
I do think that Jalen is a focused guy. He's a focused guy. I think he practices what he preaches in terms of keeping the main thing, and main thing.
All right.
But I think he's focused, and tell AJ Brown to shut the hell up. I've been team AJ the whole year. Dude, shut up. All right. You shouldn't have signed the damn contract in Philly if all you were going to do was bitch about targets. All right. Seriously. I'm so sick of it.
Do you think he's putting his personal agenda and his personal goals ahead of team goals?
Well, no, I think it's a natural,
Well, he's not happy. He's not happy. Or
yeah, but I'm not one of the fans that like acts like the only thing that should matter to every player on a 53-man roster is whether the Eagles win the Super Bowl or not. I know fans like to believe that, and that's what fans care about because we're fans of the Eagles. We want to win the game. That is a pie in the sky world to expect 53 men who are paid and judged and graded and ranked on individual success to not care about their individual success. I think that's naive. So I think there's a natural human element to AJ is happy with the team's success, but AJ doesn't want to get to the end of his career and average 880 yards a year. He doesn't. He wants to get the football. He wants to dominate players. He wants to be remembered. I mean, you said something perfectly today, and people might not want to acknowledge this, and people might get mad at AJ for it, but it's the reality of the situation. Justin Jefferson's going to the Hall of Fame.
You bet he is.
Justin Jefferson's going to the Hall of Fame. He never has to play in a Super Bowl in his life. He's going to the Hall of Fame. A.J. Brown will not be remembered the same way, even with multiple Super Bowls. So it's just something to consider. I mean, I think A.J.'s trying to balance that right now. And, I mean, by the way, even Devontae. I mean, we leave Devontae out because he's quiet publicly. But I started listening to that podcast he was on with Pat Surtain and Terrion Arnold, the Bama DBs podcast closed on Sunday. It's a great pod, but they even said to Devontae in there, like, damn, you have no All-Pros? You have no Pro Bowls? And he'll
never be first-team All-Pro in that offense.
Like, think about that, though. Like, that's what Devontae's hearing from players that he played and dominated with at Alabama.
That's correct.
Damn, bro, you have no Pro Bowls? How do you have no Pro Bowls? And he's like, hey, I'm trying to find the beauty in the game. I look for the good. That weighs on people. There's a human element to the game. They are not robots. If anybody thinks they're robots, go watch the Saquon Barkley documentary.
So I'm not saying you, but you think that Heisman doesn't mean anything to them then?
Oh, it means a ton to him.
Right. Why wouldn't Pro Bowl?
Right. It does mean shit. I'm not exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not that stuff will never matter. It does matter.
It does.
Whether people like it or not, it does matter. So who knows?
Well, here. I'll give you an example. Julian Edelman's got 3 Super Bowl rings. He's a Super Bowl MVP. That guy ain't going nowhere near the Hall of Fame. He's going nowhere near the Hall of Fame. You got 3 rings. Get this. Listen to his numbers here. He's got, when it comes to postseason, he's got some of the greatest numbers in postseason history because of all the years they played in the postseason. He's one of the greatest postseason receivers. Bro, that guy's not going to Hall of Fame. He's got a Super Bowl MVP as a receiver. Don't talk to me about fucking Super Bowl rings and all that shit. Guys want that gold jacket.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. And they should, by the way. I mean, they should. Anybody who, like, again, did anybody, want success in their own life? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy to think about somebody that wouldn't want to be successful in their sport and in their profession and in their, in their position group and all those different things. It all has to work for the collective. I agree. But at the end of the day, the only person who really doesn't care because he can is Jalen Hurts. And that's a very different evaluation for quarterbacks, unfortunately, for all the other players. That's why Jalen doesn't care, because winning matters more to a quarterback than any other position on the field. Always will. It's the nature of the beast. It always will. But it's easier for Jalen to say, who cares about stats? Who cares about numbers as long as we win? Well, because he's the only guy who's getting all the credit for the wins. Just like he got Super Bowl MVP last year. Meanwhile, the defense held Pat Mahomes to, freaking under 50 yards in the first half of the game, for crying out loud.
Okay, well, then let's play that with Jalen. So Jalen Hurts wins one more Super Bowl. He's gone to 3. He's got a Super Bowl MVP, and he doesn't have a ton of numbers. He's going to be okay not going to the Hall of Fame?
Jalen might get to the Hall of Fame if he wins another.
That's
how many quarterbacks have won?
Eli Manning right now is going to be a tough putt for him to get in the next couple of years.
Yeah, but Eli Manning doesn't have the career win percentage that Jalen has. Eli Manning's a 500 quarterback.
Eli Manning has 2 Super Bowl MVPs.
I know that, but hear me out. How many times have you heard in the Hall of Fame talk specifically about Eli, Jason Cole on this program? He's a 500 quarterback.
Okay.
A perfect example of quarterbacks have a different evaluation scale.
That's right. They'll hold numbers against him.
But
Just like
Jalen,
they'll hold winning against.
Jalen wins. If
One
Jalen
more.
wins,
if he wins one more, that's not a given.
I know it's not a given, but you're missing what I'm telling you.
Okay, what am I? Okay, tell me.
I'm telling you that at 2 Super Bowls for AJ and 2 Super Bowls for Jalen, who does it help more?
Oh, the quarterback, of course.
Absolutely. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's going to be a lock for him to get in. I'm saying it's easier for Jalen to care less about stats because the wins and the team
what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, is he going to be okay with not making if it comes down to that? Because he'll be a questionable guy. And they'll question because of the numbers. If he comes in at 30,000 yards passing, 3 Super Bowl appearances, him getting in, that's not going to be a given. It's not a given right now for Eli to make it. And I've said that he's 117 and 117. I get it.
Yeah.
But he does have 2 Super Bowl MVPs.
Yeah. I mean,
and he beat Brady twice.
Yeah, I mean, Hurts beat Mahomes, so that's a feather in his cap there. So.
He's not going into the Hall of Fame this year. You know who is? Drew Brees.
Yeah, 80,000 passing yards.
Well, he's only got 1.
I know, and he had 10 years. I think he played 20 years. He only made the playoffs 10 years.
Right, and he's got 1 Super Bowl win. I think that I don't think they got 2 Super Bowl appearances. I don't think he got him twice.
No, he only went once, I'm pretty sure.
All right. How do you think Sirianni's handled the distractions?
I mean, how does he handle anything? You don't know because he doesn't tell you anything.
You know what though? Let me believe it or not go on the side of Nick. Don't you think not addressing it is the best remedy?
I'm okay with it. Yeah, I'm used to it. Nick Saban is my favorite coach of all time. Nick Saban didn't give shit.
I think the more you address the bullshit, I think the more you make of it. You know, I think letting this. I actually think that they've handled AJ. And let me go here. I brought this up earlier. Andy Reid fucked up by letting T.O. go. You couldn't coach that? You couldn't get those 2 guys on the same page? It probably cost you a Super Bowl.
I think that was more Donovan, dude.
Okay, well, that's also the head coach's responsibility to tell these 2 guys, bro, you need one another. You have to have each other if you're going to win. It's a team sport. We say this all the time. Dude, Xander, you got to have a bunch of assholes sometimes. You got to have a bunch of psychos. You got to have a bunch of leaders. You got to have a whole melting pot full of people in your locker room. You can't coach one style of player. You're not going to win that way.
Yeah,
you
I agree.
Coach them all. You and I both talked about Gardner Johnson not being on the team. No excuse to let that guy walk out because what? He had a T-shirt on and some other bullshit. Tell him to take it off. Have a coach and look at it and go, get the fuck with that. What are you doing here? Let's go. I need you. That's what I mean. I don't subscribe to. Well, I'm going to get rid of the guy. Like everyone, me personally, I don't want to get rid of AJ. What? Because he's a psycho?
I don't either. I don't want to get rid of AJ.
If they don't win a Super Bowl, he'll demand a trade.
I think even if they win a Super Bowl, he'll demand a trade.
Why would you want to leave that? Oh, numbers.
Because we just went through this. We just won the Super Bowl, and he's bitching.
Yeah, numbers.
So if we win another one, he's going to be like, all right, now I got 2. Now I really want out of here.
No. I added this up. Check this out. You got $36 million a year annually. You have a Super Bowl ring. You're on one of the top teams in the NFC. Bro, I think he's just one of these guys that likes the world burning, man. No matter what happens, he ain't ever going to be satisfied with anything. And so you got to coach that. Don't you agree? Either you tolerate it or you don't.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I just don't know what world we're living in where he's going to get the ball as much as he wants to. I mean, he got it a lot in 22, man. Or 23, I think he had over 100 catches.
Yeah, but no Barkley on the team.
Yeah. Well, Barkley's not running the ball a lot right now. Jalen Hurts is like 10th in the league in passing yards. He is. Devontae Smith is top 10 in the league in receiving yards right now.
It's crazy.
So at one point, you have to start looking at AJ too.
One game turned that whole narrative around.
Well, no, not really, because if you look at it, it's actually 3 games. No, I'm not saying 3 games of competence. I'm saying 3 games of passing. Jalen had 278, 280, and then 315. So it was 3 games of an uptick in passing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the offenses look good in the previous
No,
two
you're
games.
right.
I'm just saying they threw the ball
With the
more.
uptick, they're still 1-2. You're right.
Yeah, right. But they threw the ball more in the last 3 games.
That's right.
So at one point, it's like,
But you sacrificed wins. You sacrificed wins to uptake the
and he still barely got numbers.
Yeah.
Last week he got 120, but he only got 4 catches.
Right. You're 1-2 when you had to uptick the passing game.
Yeah.
Interesting. And when you didn't, you were unbeaten. It's kind of crazy to think. I mean, it's a wild. John says it's the craziest team ever. It surely is, dude.
It's a weird team. It is a weird team.
All right. Well, the offensive line, we broached this a little bit earlier. Do you think the offensive line is going to come back this year and be the dominant offensive line that they've been the last 5 years?
Probably not to that level, no. Actually, I would say definitely not to that level. I mean, they don't look like that right now. They've shown nothing this year to believe that they would be that. I mean, Landon Dickerson is banged up. Did you hear John? I was talking to John before the show today, and he mentioned it on the show, so it's not like I'm hiding anything, but or saying anything I shouldn't. But John's like, yeah, I don't think Landon's getting any better. Like Landon said to him in the locker room, I'm 75%, but that's not 75% of like where I could be. It's 75% of like where I am this year. Yeah, right.
He's telling
Landon,
you
I don't think Landon.
He's telling you he's a little bit better than Brett Toth right now.
Exactly. 75% of what he was in call it week 2 and 3.
Who are you more concerned with, Landon or Cam?
Short term or long term? Just this year?
That's a great back question.
Honestly, I'm equally concerned this year and long term.
That's a great question.
Think about it, dude. Long term and short term, I'm kind of equally concerned about both. I mean, hear me out.
I am.
Landon's got ankles and knees. All right.
And a history.
Took 2 ACLs. And now you have Cam, which is a back surgery, which is the most scary to me.
Absolutely.
So Landon has a longer list of injuries. Cam has a deadly injury. Not deadly, that's not the right word. But a bad injury in terms of rehabbing from a back is a problem.
Deadly career-wise.
That's what I meant.
That's a great back question. Man, if I had to pick right now, I'd probably be more concerned with Cam because I just gave him the contract and he's younger.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why they gave him that contract this summer. That was this summer. That was after he got out from under the knife on his back surgery. Without ever seeing him take the football field, they gave him that extension.
You think Landon Dickerson has a short career in Philly?
I don't want to say yes to your question, but I might have to say yes to your question. And I don't think it will be anything about because he's not a good player. I think it will be because his career is short. Yeah, his career is just going to be short. I mean, I'm going to go full pessimism here. There might only be one offensive lineman on this team that's here 3 years from now. Mailata.
And he's struggling.
Well, I think he's struggling because nobody else is good right now. But I'm just saying, like, think about that. Steen maybe could be here. Maybe. Lane is going to be done. Dickerson, man, as good as he is, as dominant as he is, as great as he was last year.
2 years.
Is anybody envisioning a world where he's going to be like,
no way,
healthy as shit in the next couple of years? I don't know. I hope he can be.
Sure.
And then Cam Jurgens, I mean, that's concerning because back surgery I don't like back, bro. I'm telling you, man, I do not like back surgeries. I said that in the summer when they paid him. I don't like back surgeries. I never have. Why would anybody? Scary. And think about this. How many times did I do this? That's what a center does all day.
And remember, you're taking doubles on when you're
yeah. Like that's not good on a back that was operated on. I had my ankle operated on 8 years ago. When I go skiing or I play basketball out of my driveway or I do anything, I still feel my ankle. I still feel it.
Of course you do.
So if you have a back surgery,
Shit, when you're older, you'll limp.
I know I will.
Okay.
I already kind of do. And then my
Yeah.
problem was I never did the proper PT because I went right back to college.
Let me
Scootering around the Alabama campus, my friend.
Yeah, get drunk and falling down at night. That's what you
I had wait. Here's the funniest story. I was never a great student in high school. I got to Alabama and I'm like, I'm so fucking sick of everybody telling me I'm dumb because I'm not dumb. I just never cared about school.
Yeah, me too.
I get to school, Alabama. I got a 4.0 GPA first semester. Perfect 4.0. I remember I was on the dean's list. It was posted on Alabama's website, whatever, all this crap. I sent it to my family. I come home for Christmas break for this. That's when I had my double ankle surgery because I had osteomyelitis in my ankle, replaced my whole ankle. I go back to school on a scooter. I can't get to class. The campus is massive. I stopped going to class because I'm scootering everywhere, Ubering to class. I'm a broke college kid. I go from a 4.0 to a 1.8.
You know why you went from a 1.8? Because you could stay in college if you get over a 1.67. And he knew it. Let me tell you how I did my schooling.
The beginning of the end of my college career.
I never went to school during the entire regular year. You know, I made all my grades up. I went.
Oh, you were a player.
School.
You had different.
No, wait a minute. No, I went to summer school, and what I did was I showed up to these like tiered classes where you don't have attendance. Just go in for the midterm, get the blue book. Then I'd get in there and I'd fucking do my deal, and I'd get B's and C's, and somehow I'd have a C average. I hated school, man. I saw no reason for it. It had no bearing on my life whatsoever. Mm-hmm. I saw nothing. Hey, do you think that I hate to throw this at you here? You don't think the tush push has had a lasting effect on these guys?
Yes, I do. Are you kidding me?
Even the guy in Los Angeles,
all three of them. The three main guys who are featured in the tush push. The three main guys. Every one of them is hurt this year. Yeah. Every one of them. And two of them had surgeries in the offseason. I'm not sure if Becton had a surgery. I don't think he did.
No. But he's been hurt. He's been banged up. I mean,
think about that. I mean, anybody who says it didn't affect him is denying reality. The evidence is overwhelming that it impacted them. Overwhelming. Now, it could also be the 480 rushing carries as well. Mm-hmm. You know, that's a part of it as well. Playing 20-plus games, playing into February, all those different things add into it. But a play where you're beating on, right behind them. I mean, Cam Jurgens, ask Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce spoke about this on a podcast. He hates the tush push. He likes it because it's successful, but he hated running the tush push. It's brutal. Look at it, guys. Would you want to be in the middle of that fucking pile?
Absolutely not.
Looks brutal.
Absolutely not, man. No way whatsoever.
100% impacted him.
I think they have to upgrade in the offseason on Steen. I don't think he's a physical guy. I think he's a finesse guy.
Yeah, but they might not be able to. I'll tell you why. What are you doing in the draft this year? You got to get.
I was going there.
You got to get a Lane Johnson replacement, don't you? How many years are we going to wait to get that?
This is where we're going here with that. Is in April's draft coming up, as of right now on October 23rd, is the need on this team corner, edge, or O-line now?
Corner right now or in the draft?
Right now, today, you think it's corner, edge, or O-line?
I don't think they're going to trade for an O-lineman or anything like that.
No way. They're going to go into the draft.
Yeah. Well, that would be
the question is going to be how high in the draft.
Are you asking me if they're going to make a move for one of these things right now or later in the draft?
I'm next April in the draft. Okay, I should probably say, if you had to pick a first rounder right now, would you go corner, edge, or O-line?
You need an edge bad, and you need an offensive lineman bad. Bad.
Think how fast that narrative changed on the O-line.
They might go O-line next year in the draft. I know people don't love, people like to splash here, but They're going to go back to their original setup. We've
And
had
where
a
do
lot
you
of
think
fun.
the Eagles are going to pick in the draft? The bottom?
Toward the bottom.
Toward the bottom, right?
Yeah, I mean they're already at 5-2. Now they could fall.
Well, that's
apart,
kind of where the really good old linemen hang out too. And this year's going to be loaded.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to get. I'm looking for a
You're not going to
lane.
get the Ohio State kid. No,
I'm looking for a lane or Caden Proctor from Alabama.
Yeah.
Um,
I think they need O-line, dude.
Who's the Ohio State kid? What's that kid's name? He's left tackle. Blanking on his name right now.
Let me get.
I know he's an excellent player though.
I think they got two guys up there. I think one's an interior guy. Yeah, dude.
Austin, is that it? Austin Sierraveld?
Yeah, that's it. Yes.
Yeah.
2026 NFL draft.
Yeah,
bro. I think they're gonna go O-line. Yeah, the kid from Miami's gonna go probably 5th. So you're not gonna get him.
There's a Utah tackle too, I think.
Yep.
Spencer Snow or something.
Yep.
Who else they got in the draft? Yeah, the Miami kid. He's good. I like the Miami kid.
Yeah, he's an IMG kid.
Yeah, those kids are.
Proctor's probably going to be again
top 15, I think, for Proctor.
Top 15, probably somewhere down there, right? That kid from Iowa, Dunker, is also supposed.
By the way, where are the Ohio State fans in the chat? I can't wait for the inevitable crash course that Alabama and Ohio State are on when we beat the shit out of the Buckeyes
in the playoffs.
I hate the Buckeyes.
Why do you?
I'll never forget when I was at Alabama, and we were in the playoff. It was back when it was a 14 playoff, and we had Ohio State. On those guys, those Ohio State fans, I know they were the biggest douchebags in the world. We beat the shit out of them. Fuck those guys, man.
They stole a national title for us when that flag came out from nowhere. Absolutely. So this Giants game on Sunday, man, you got them taking care of business on Sunday, right at home.
Yeah, I think they win the game. I think they win on Sunday. I do. I mean, I think they do.
Throwing the ball, running the ball, balance.
I think they're gonna run for 100 yards, like I said, but I don't know. It's tough to predict because the Giants did a pretty good job against our pass game.
I don't know how.
I know we threw for 280, but they did. So,
you know what? Couple last ones here before we read the supers here. Don't forget, Farzetta will join us. That'll be at the bottom of the hour.
Hey, look at this numbnuts. Ohio State's the real deal. Yeah, well, you still have a good team. Y'all lost to FSU. Donald, who have you guys beaten?
No one.
Who have you beaten?
Overrated.
We beat Georgia. We beat Vandy. We built Missouri. We beat Tennessee. Who are you talking to? You guys didn't beat anybody yet.
They lost to a 3-4 FSU team.
Yeah, but that was the first game of the year. You know how that goes.
True. Hey, by the way, you know
who
what?
Did Ohio State beat? Seriously, let me go look.
No one. They beat Texas. Overrated Texas.
Shitty ass Texas with Arch Manning, who's a fucking stiff, and crusty Illinois. Congratulations. Those are your two ranked wins. Crusty Texas and crusty Illinois. We beat Georgia, Tennessee, Missouri, Vanderbilt. Stop it.
I'll tell
you, got some big wins this year.
Bro, I think Indiana's a better team than Ohio State.
I love that Indiana. And that quarterback's amazing in Indiana.
Dude, do you understand what Kurt Segnetti has done? This guy coached at James Madison at Elon. Do you know he was 11-2 last year. He's 6-7-0 now. This guy's fucking 18-2 since he's gotten there. Indiana's the worst program in history. And that guy, it's a better job right now than Penn State.
Yeah.
Who
do you think's going to get the Penn State job?
If they hire Matt Rule, it'll be enormously a mistake. I thought he did a nice job at turning Baylor around after that whole mess.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think he gets to. I don't think he brings you to where you want to go if you're Penn State.
Do you try to pry somebody that's at a place now away?
Who?
That, see,
I thought Signetti would have been a good option. I think that's why he got paid.
Yeah, $93 million, $11.3 a year. They're not getting him.
I'm saying, though, was it a coincidence when they paid him? It happened right after Franklin got fired because I think they were like, if we don't give him the offer, Penn State might try and pry him.
Would you go try to pry Jim Harbaugh away from L.A.?
Maybe. I don't know if Jim Harbaugh was made for the NFL. I think he's better in college. I mean, he's had success in the NFL. I'm not criticizing. I just mean like long term. I think him personally would like to be in it would like college.
You think Saban would take that job?
0% chance. Stop.
Why?
You think Nick Saban's going to come out making $25 million a year on TV a couple times a week to go and coach fucking Penn State?
Them fucking guys are coaches, man. Some of them guys, man, I mean, that's what they are. They're coaches.
He's not doing that. I would put it precisely at a 0% chance.
I think he probably is out of gas with it.
Yeah, I don't think he.
You know, because I'll tell you what Jimmy did when he got done, he just went like this. That's it. I'll never do it again. And he never did it again. You know, he left Dallas and it was a mistake. But after that, he went like this. Yeah, no, man, that's not happening. All right, let's get to some of these supers, guys. We appreciate you very much. Mark Farzetta is going to join us at the bottom of the hour.
Let's do it.
Hey, does John wait real quick? Does John think that AJ is going to get traded?
No. He thinks
How
that's
about the offseason?
Yeah, he said that. Then it's a conversation, a real conversation.
Like in March?
I don't know. Catch says Happy Valley would be a boring place to live. Now, Catch, I love the University of Alabama, but I think Nick would be okay in a boring place. You go outside of Tuscaloosa, my friend, there ain't a whole lot by the University of Alabama outside of Tuscaloosa. All right? I promise you that, Catch.
Hold on here. I want to tell you this. Hold on. What the Alabama University of Alabama. Folks, I want to tell you just to keep an eye on this here. So that camp that Zander was talking about, it's 1,100 plus acres. Fucking 1,100 acres.
What is?
The University of Alabama's on.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah, but I'm telling you, once you leave the town of Tuscaloosa, there is nothing around you. I mean, you can go to Birmingham, which is like an hour and a half away or hour 20 away.
Just telling you, man. Just so you know, the University of Miami's on 240 acres.
Yeah, and it's in Miami.
I mean, you're on 1,100 acres, man. Can you imagine having your fucking your statistics class? Then you got to get across campus.
Yeah. Speaking of Ohio State, that's one campus I've never visited.
Oh my God, is it incredibly awesome? It's one of the best campuses.
Yeah, I've never been.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the biggest. I think they have the most kids of any campus in the country. I think
I'm not mistaken.
Oh, by the way, 54,000.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, the only thing I have in my head when I think about Ohio State, the last time we played those dudes, if I'm not mistaken, we beat the living piss out of them in the national title. I think it was 2020. I think Devontae Smith had like 300 yards in that game. Yeah,
I think that was Urban Meyer. That was Urban Meyer.
Let me go look that up.
I think that was Urban
Championship.
That may have been Urban Meyer's last game. He got his ass whooped in.
Oh yeah. Wait. Yep. 52-24 in the Natty. I thought I remembered that correctly. Mac Jones threw for 464. Listen to this stat line. 36 of 45 for 464 yards and 5 touchdowns. That was Mac Jones' stat line versus Ohio State in the national championship.
Who was the
quarterback? Devontae Smith had 12 catches for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns in that game. All in the first half.
Who was the quarterback for Ohio State?
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
Yup.
That's right. All right, Big Z, let's get to these supers, man. Farzetta's going to join us in a few minutes.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's freaking do it. Give me 1 second.
I feel pretty good about your boys, man, winning that game.
Catch. Thank you, Catch. Appreciate it.
You're awesome.
He says more BMWs in parking lot at Miami than Alabama.
Well, now it's
A
legal.
lot of Chargers and Challengers for them Bama players, man. They love those. I'll never forget Jalen Hurts when he was at Alabama. I was a freshman. He was a freshman. He drove right by our frat house, and he was in a Challenger. Lifted his hand out the window and waved because we were all hollering at him.
You guys were driving what?
I wasn't.
No, what were they? What were the players driving?
Dodge Challenger.
Dodge Challengers. Yeah, we were driving Mercedes and fucking Vets.
Challengers are pretty sick, bro. Challengers are they're big horsepower V8. You know they're.
So you take a Challenger over your Corvette? Okay, go trade it in.
No, I'm not. But I would like a Hellcat. A Hellcat would complement to my Corvette a little bit.
Hey,
that style a little more.
Bro, man, I loved my Corvette when I drove it in college. Oh,
you know who pulled up in the Mercedes every day? Nick Saban. Obviously, he owns multiple Mercedes dealerships. For those who don't know that, he owns a bunch of Mercedes dealerships in Alabama.
Jerome had a BMW. I had a Corvette. Vinny had some sort of like souped up caddy. And there were a lot of BMWs. I mean, get this. So the guys from ESPN and the guys from Sports Illustrated pull up and they go, holy shit, this looks like a new car lot. Every guy had a BMW, Corvettes. They were everywhere. And there was no nil. Hey, there was no nil.
Martin says I was in a punch buggy. You want to hear a good story? So, actually, I didn't have a punch buggy, Martin. But what I had was my grandmother passed away my senior year of high school. She had an old Subaru, very grandmother car. It was like literally poop brown colored. Like literally, that's the color of the Subaru. And I'm driving to Alabama. All right. My roommate's in my front seat, Chuck. Was my roommate every year. I was best friends with him in high school too. We're driving. We stop at Virginia Tech because that's where my brother was to stay the night and then finish the drive in the morning. So we get up at 2:30 in the morning to continue our drive. At 3:15, 45 minutes into our drive, it's pitch black out. The car breaks down. The Subaru breaks down. No, it's so bad to the point that the hazard lights didn't even go on. Didn't even go on. So we're on the side of the road. There's trucks driving. It's the scariest thing I've ever been because there's no light. I don't know who can see us. I'm on the side of the road. It's 3 a.m. So I'm dialing my brother's phone, trying to wake his ass up over and over and over again. And I finally got to him at like 4:45. We sat there for an hour and a half on the side of the road in a broken down Subaru. My brother had to get that thing towed to a little place in Virginia to get it fixed. My pop said, I don't even want that thing to come home. We sold that thing. It was like a couple grand we got for it. Piece of shit. And I stole my brother's 2004 Ford Escape and finished up the drive.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Hilarious.
Here's Hollywood. Bet LeBron won't talk about shit about Trump now. LOL. That's funny.
Hey, boy, I think LeBron, Maverick Carter and them guys got some work to do here.
Here's Hollywood. I'll give Dickerson the benefit of the doubt more than Juergens.
I don't know if I'd give Dickerson the benefit of the doubt from his history with college injuries at FSU and Bama. And now he's always hurt in Philadelphia. I guarantee I like Zander what he said. He might not be on the team in 3 years.
Gonna be interesting to see. That damn Subaru is right, Abe. One other real quick story. Who knows the Benjamin Franklin Bridge in Philadelphia?
I know it.
At the tippy top, the highest point of the Ben Franklin. That same Subaru, 6 months or 8 months prior, broke down on the Ben. I had to get a police escort across the rest of the Ben Franklin Bridge because that Subaru broke down in the middle of the Ben Franklin. The cop got out. He's pushing me in neutral. And then I started to go down the hill. And he's like, okay, work the brake. And then I got to the bottom and I had to pull off to the side. And the cop escorted me down.
It goes like this, right? It goes up and then it goes like that, right?
No,
it
it
goes
wasn't a damn WRX Hustler. It was my grandmother's car. It was a Outback, a Subaru Outback.
Hilarious, dude.
Oh, man. Here's Jason. Andy coddled McNabb as well. That was his baby. Yes, he did.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
One more here. Josh says, no, two more. Get off the fence, Zander. If he's so elite, he should have no problem throwing us the wins like every other elite QB has. He hides behind that Super Bowl in which he was carried the whole season.
Oh!
Is that Sileo's burner?
Yeah, that's it. Sileo's burner.
I love where I am. I got people roasting me because I'm too mean to Jalen Hurts. Now I got people roasting me because I'm not mean enough to Jalen Hurts. I think I'm right where you want to be, everybody.
Yes.
I'm right in the middle. I want him to play elite because that's the expectation. When he does, I'll give him credit. When he doesn't, I'll call for more. Josh, you stay on that side. Here's Dirty D. Does Sirianni hold on to the injury report because he's trying to set up the bookies?
No.
I don't.
You think the NFL's rigged?
I don't.
I don't.
I have a hard time believing that. But I'll say this.
My wife thinks it's rigged.
If they wanted to rig it, it wouldn't be that hard. That's all I'll say. I'm not saying it's rigged. I'm saying if they wanted to rig it. I used to think when I was a kid and used to hear this talk, sports are rigged. I used to always say, there's no way those players work their ass off to make it to the league, and then they get there, and then they're told they got to throw a game. But as I've older, obviously that's not how it would work. It's plays, it's the subjective calls that you said, it's little turns of the tide that you can do to influence outcomes, I think would be the way it would be done.
Don't you think basketball is easier to rig than any other sport professionally?
I think you can make an argument that football would be easy too.
See,
because there's so much like basketball, there's less moving parts. You got 5 guys on the team. You know what I mean? Like it's a little bit smaller of a I don't know.
5 guys. 5 guys on a basketball.
I'm curious to hear what Farzi said. He's like us.
Oh no, I'm going to ask you
our whole careers are around sports. Are you telling me all these games that we cover and spend so much time on are rigged? You got to be kidding me. I will not be happy.
Hey, I told you the story. You know, JAKIB comes on every week, right? His brother was involved in the Boston College point shaving scandal.
Yeah, I remember that.
That 30 for 30 that they had, he was the point guard on that.
Is that 30 for 30 on ESPN?
That's a 30 for 30, yeah.
I got to watch that.
That's the BC points shaving scandal. He went to the high school right across from me. He went to Stanford High School, and he was the point guard on that team. He's now a coach, high school coach in Arizona now. And the mafia got to those guys. They were point shaving.
Look, I want to show you one thing real quick before I get out of here. We get Farzi up. This is I am soon going to be this is AI made this for me. Okay. This is an AI creation.
The Farzetta look.
I will be a bald man pretty soon, folks. All right.
Holy
so that's
cow.
what's coming. I'll be
By the way, when you go Chrome Dome, you got just the perfect guy to give you all the tips on it to go Chrome Dome.
I might need to reach out to Farzi. All right, brother.
By the way, Farzi, man, he gets all tanned up. He's got the dome all tanned. He's ready to rock.
Hollywood says basketball, all brothers. Nah, it ain't rigged.
Bro, whatever. Big Z, we'll catch you tomorrow.
Later, dude.
You got it.